Lang Han from behind continues. Sorry, this is my first time inviting someone for a drink, so I'm not very skilled at it. Dalang Han's face darkens, but Chinan ignores it and directly sits on Liu Xiao's lap. With a smile, his beautiful face gently says, have a drink. At first, Liu Xiao was a bit scared of Dalang Han, but he ends up enchanted by Chinan's demeanor. Like, seriously, a treasure you can drink. The wine personally made by him is something you won't regret for a lifetime. Liu Xiao, mesmerized, leans down to grab the wine glass. Chinan quietly asks, is the wine good? At this moment, Dalang Han can't hold back anymore and reaches out to pull Chinan toward him. Then he angrily grabs Liu Xiao's collar, shouting, who dares to touch Liu Xiao? Panicking, they tremble and keep begging for forgiveness. But Dalang Han is not calming down. He directly punches Liu Xiao. Wen Zishu sees the situation is not good and rushes to stop Dalang Han. Da Xiao is here to have fun, don't ruin the mood. Wen Zishu thinks to herself, Da Xiao clearly cares about Chinan so much, yet he brings him here to humiliate him. It's like the family knows nothing while the outside world is fully aware. But you have to admit, Chinan is really skilled. From now on, no one will dare to insult him again. Chinan stands in a corner, smirking. Dalang Han is still furious. He grabs Chinan's hand and scolds him. You just casually. Chinan gets pushed down onto the sofa by Dalang Han, but he's not scared at all. Da Xiao, your memory is really poor. Who was it that asked me to serve the people in this VIP room well just now? I'm just following your request, he adds with a smirk. If you think serving drinks isn't enough, I can serve you in bed. This directly drives Dalang Han crazy. Chinan, unfazed by the fiery gaze, says, besides the master knowing how to strike, what else do you know? This leaves Dalang Han stunned, and Wen Zishu has to mediate again, pushing Dalang Han to sit down. Da Xiao calms down a bit, and then calls a male server to come serve Dalang Han. The male server cautiously approaches Dalang Han, feeding him a piece of fruit. Although he hates it, Dalang Han still reluctantly accepts it. He wants to use this to make Chinan jealous and come begging him, but when he glances over, he sees Chinan intently counting money, totally ignoring what's happening over here. He's stunned, thinking, you'd rather need money than me. The male server sees Dalang Han take the first bite and confidently moves closer. Moreover, unexpectedly, Dalang Han angrily shouts, get lost. After pushing the male server away, Dalang Han grabs Chinan's hand again. He leans in close and asks, do you love money that much? Chinan coolly replies, I don't love money. Do I love you? Dalang Han drags Chinan to the bar to humiliate him, but ends up getting provoked by Chinan. Chinan, ignoring Dalang Han's anger, smiles mockingly and says, I don't love money. Do I love you? Talking about feelings would hurt, but talking about money doesn't. Chinan bitterly thinks if he had aimed for Dalang Han's money from the start, he wouldn't be so hurt now. Dalang Han angrily pushes Chinan's hand away. Does that mean if someone gives you money, you'll sleep with them? Chinan slowly looks up at Dalang Han and says, that's right. Da Xiao, remember to pay me for a few days ago. Wen Zishu stands behind, worried for Chinan, thinking, you really are something. Pushing the male server away, Dalang Han grabs Chinan's hand again, leaning in close to ask, do you love money that much? So? Chinan coolly replies, I don't love money. Do I love you? Dalang Han drags Chinan to the bar to humiliate him, but ends up getting provoked by Chinan. Chinan, ignoring Dalang Han's anger, smiles mockingly and says, I don't love money. Do I love you? Talking about feelings would hurt, but talking about money doesn't. Chinan bitterly thinks if he had aimed for Dalang Han's money from the start, he wouldn't be so hurt now. Dalang Han angrily pushes Chinan's hand away. Does that mean, if someone gives you money, you'll sleep with them? Chinan slowly looks up at Dalang Han and says, that's right. Da Xiao, remember to pay me for a few days ago. Wen Zishu stands behind, worried for Chinan, thinking, you really are something. Aren't you really scared of being played by Yaoi Han? He paused for a moment, then coldly pulled Chinan's hand. Chinan was dragged away, struggling and protesting, let me go. But Yaoi Han didn't budge, angrily slamming the door shut. Everyone in the VIP room was buzzing, wondering if this would lead to a murder, right? It seemed like Van Tu Thu was used to this scene, reassuring everyone that it probably wouldn't happen. Yaoi Han and his little lover have been through this torment more than once or twice, and just as he raised his glass of wine to his lips, he clicked his tongue, saying he was afraid there wouldn't be a next time. And then Yaoi Han pulled Chinan back to the villa, pinning him down. He growled, can't you just be good and stay by my side? Why do you always want to leave me? What do you want me to do? He shamelessly said he had done everything possible to keep him, so why did Chinan still want to distance himself? Chinan looked up at him. Yaoi Han asked, do you want me to marry you? Can I do that? This question caught Ye Lang Han off guard. He arrogantly replied, I've given you the chance to be an Omega, but you couldn't handle it. I need an heir. Chinan sarcastically asked, So, I can't do it, huh? Ye Lang Han, is this the first day you met me? From the very beginning, you knew I was an alpha. Chinan's chest ached, placing his hand over his heart, saying that when he pursued him, he promised to be by his side forever. Ye Lang Han stubbornly insisted, I'm not lying to you, still believing that being with Chinan forever was meant for him. It was to make him his lover, placing Chinan's hand on his chest, the other hand caressing his hair, saying that Cam Due was just his other half. On paper, you don't need to calculate this. He lifted Chinan's chin, wanting to place a kiss on his lips. But Chinan avoided the kiss without a second thought, and Ye Lang Han's response made him completely lose hope. This time, Ye Lang Han seemed more patient, looking at Chinan with deep affection, asking, Do you know how angry I was when you invited Liu Hao for drinks? He hugged Chinan, asking him if they could make up, but before he could finish, Chinan interrupted, Let's break up. Ye Lang Han was shocked. He pushed Chinan away, incredulously asking, What are you trying to stir up now? Chinan, feeling defeated, said, Just let me go. But what he wanted was something Ye Lang Han couldn't provide. He didn't want to lower himself to be a lifelong lover in the shadows next to Ye Lang Han. Ye Lang Han tightly embraced Chinan, commanding, I won't allow it. I told you, even if I die, don't think you can leave me. Ye Lang Han fiercely bit down on Chinan's shoulder, growling, You are mine and I will never let you go. The next morning, Chinan, bruised and empty, lay on the bed. After examining him, the doctor kindly helped him cover with a blanket, and when stepping out, he saw Ye Lang Han still standing outside the door, and he reported back on the situation inside, saying that Chinan's injuries were severe. We can't do this anymore, Ye Lang Han coldly asked. Will he die if we continue? The doctor honestly replied that being too rough would worsen the injuries and could potentially be life-threatening. Ye Lang Han turned away, saying, If he wants to die, what do I care? You are watching a video on the YouTube channel Review. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the latest episodes. Ever since Ye Lang Han got angry, Chinan was bedridden. He didn't return to the villa anymore. Ye Lang Han was out partying with his rich friends in the bar. I can't do this anymore. Yan Lang Han coldly asked if doing it would lead to death. The doctor honestly replied, Being too rough will worsen the injury. It could very well be life-threatening. Yan Lang Han turned away, saying that he wanted to die. Why should I care? You're watching the video on the Review YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the latest episodes. Since Yan Lang Han got angry, it was a total mess. He didn't return to the villa anymore. Yan Lang Han was out partying with his rich friends in the bar. Van Tu Thu sat next to him, wondering why he hadn't come back for days, and if he was still fighting with his little lover. Dalang Han tightly gripped the cup. Not answering, he knew he had been too much with Kai Nian that night, but he just couldn't control himself. To avoid causing any more trouble for Kai Nian, Dalang Han could only avoid seeing him again. Suddenly the phone rang. It was the staff from the villa calling. The person on the other end anxiously said, "Da Tu, you should come back and see. Kai Tu hasn't eaten anything for days." Hearing this, Dalang Han panicked. He stood up abruptly, angrily shouting, "What kind of service is this? If he's not eating, can't you feed him?" The staff awkwardly explained, "We've tried everything. There's really nothing more we can do." Dalang Han ordered someone to call a doctor. Van Tu Thu, sitting beside, shook his head and said, "You really believe in this starvation tactic?" He reached out to hold Dalang Han back. "If you go back, you'll fall into his trap." Dalang Han glared at Van Tu Thu, coldly saying, "Let go." After that, he turned and left, leaving poor little Van Tu looking at his friends who abandoned him for beauty inside Dalang Han's villa. Kai Nian lay dreamily on the bed, the sound of Dalang Han's voice coming from outside. Kai Nian had lost a lot of weight. He felt lifeless, looking out the window, feeling like a bird trapped in a cage. Dalang Han anxiously opened the door and entered the room. Seeing Kai Nian's current state, he couldn't believe how much he had changed in just a few short days. Could it be that he really didn't want to live anymore? Kai Nian weakly turned his gaze toward Dalang Han, seeing him looking back. Dalang Han hurriedly leaned down and asked, "I'm here. What do you want to say?" Kai Nian croaked, "No one has ever loved me since I was little. Until I met you at 18. Kai Nian trembled as he reached out to touch Dalang Han's face. "I thought this love would last forever, as you said, but in the end, it was just one-sided." Kai Nian wasn't really talking to Dalang Han. It was like he was questioning himself, wondering how they ended up here. Perhaps he was too weak. Kai Nian's hand slipped down. Dalang Han quickly grabbed his hand, placing it on his lips, showering him with kisses. He gently asked, "What do you want to say?" Kai Nian, Go ahead, I'm always here. Kai Nian's gaze was empty. His dry lips murmured, "Let's break up." It seemed like those words took all his strength, and Kai Nian fell into a coma. Dalang Han panicked, picking Kai Nian up and loudly calling for someone to take him to the hospital. In the hospital, doctors and nurses hurriedly pushed Kai Nian into the emergency room. Dalang Han anxiously watched as Kai Nian was taken away. On the other side, Thin Dui Than was exchanging information with an older doctor. Not far away, a hospital bed was suddenly pushed by, catching Dalang Han's attention. Thin Dui Than quickly approached to inquire. He received news that the patient was severely malnourished due to starvation. Thin Dui Than glanced and saw Dalang Han standing nearby, instructing his assistant. He angrily swung his fist at him, but Dalang Han easily dodged. Thin Dui Than was stopped by Dalang Han's bodyguards. He angrily shouted, "That scum Dalang Han is a beast." Dalang Han disdainfully brushed it off. Thin Dui Than was blocked by Dalang Han's bodyguards. He angrily cursed that scum Dalang Han was a beast. Dalang Han disdainfully brushed it off. Oh my god, that moment when Du Than touches my conversation with him. Like, he has no right to ask. Du Than is fuming, saying that he only thinks about himself and totally ignores how his feelings affect him. What he loves isn't just some random thing, it's himself. Kai Nian is so weak that he had to be hospitalized. Seeing this, Du Than wants to get justice for him, but before he can think it through, he rushes to confront Dalang Han. The result? He gets thrown out by that bodyguard. That bodyguard threatens him, saying if he dares to show up in front of Da Tio again, he'll beat him up. Du Than is so mad, his fists are clenched. Just then, a car screeches to a halt right in front of him. Deng Thun, the young master of the Deng family, hops out of the car, worriedly asking if Professor Thin is okay. Deng Thun rushes over to help Du Than, offering to take him to the hospital for a checkup, but Du Than refuses. He knows Dalang Han has surrounded that hospital. If he goes in now, it's like walking into a tiger's den. Du Than puts on a reassuring smile, saying it's just a minor scratch. He's a bit curious why Deng Thun is here, and it turns out he's just doing an inspection and happened to witness Du Than getting attacked outside the hospital. Hearing this, Du Than is shocked and asks, "Is this your family's hospital?" Seeing his reaction, Deng Thun suspects something must have happened inside the hospital. Du Than places a hand on Deng Than's shoulder, asking him for a favor. Deng Thun seriously replies, "As long as it's within my capability, I'll do my best." Du Than straight up says that Kai Nian is currently locked up in this hospital. Please help me get him out for 3 days. Later, in a riverside villa, Kai Nian groggily wakes up. This place feels so strange to him. As he struggles to sit up, a maid comes over to remind him that his health is still weak, so he shouldn't move around carelessly. Kai Nian anxiously asks, "Where am I?" The girl replies, "This is Deng Tan." Just then, Deng Tan walks in, asking with concern, "You're awake?" Kai Nian is super surprised to see Deng Tan here, wondering why he's here. He remembers being imprisoned by Dalang Han before he passed out. Deng Tan comes over, pats his shoulder and reassures him, "I and Professor Thin got you out of the hospital. This place is very safe. Just rest here. Dalang Han won't find you." Kai Nian can't believe his ears, looking at Deng Tan, not trusting that he's really escaped Dalang Han's grasp. He nervously asks, "Is this for real?" Deng Tan continues to reassure him that it is. Right now his health isn't good, so don't overexert yourself. Kai Nian takes a deep breath, thinking that maybe he can finally live a normal life away from Dalang Han. Meanwhile, in the hospital, Dalang Han is furious, yelling about someone who was clearly alive suddenly disappearing. Even the cameras are gone. He immediately suspects Du Than, but when he investigates, he finds nothing linking Du Than to Kai Nian. He was frustrated and kicked everyone out. Yalang Han looked at the footage captured on the camera. He wondered why Kai Nian was so anxious to leave him. Why was it that inside Deng Cheng's villa, it was so rarely peaceful, to be able to sit and drink tea like this? Deng Cheng asked about his recovery, and Kai Nian felt grateful. He smiled and thanked Deng Cheng. Deng Cheng was captivated by this smile, and his heart raced faster. He felt that Kai Nian was truly beautiful, not at all like an alpha. Deng Cheng gathered all his courage to hold Kai Nian's hand and confess, "I like you. Please give me a chance to take care of you." Kai Nian finally escaped from Yalang Han's captivity, and Deng Cheng took him to the Deng family villa to recuperate. He thought life would just flow peacefully. Unexpectedly, Deng Cheng suddenly confessed, "I like you. Please, give me a chance." Kai Nian was flustered, not expecting Deng Cheng to have feelings for him. He awkwardly thanked Deng Cheng for his affection, but said, "I'm not in the mood for love right now. 4 years of love with Yalang Han has exhausted me." Deng Cheng didn't want to force him, saying, "We can start as friends. If you still don't like me later, we'll always be friends." But Qi Nian still firmly rejected him. Deng Cheng sincerely said, "I can wait." Qi Nian felt awkward, although he was very grateful for Deng Cheng's kindness. It wouldn't be fair to be with him just out of gratitude. Pulling his hand back, Deng Cheng saw he couldn't convince Qi Nian, so he changed the subject. There was a masquerade ball in Deng Cheng today, and he wanted to invite Qi Nian to join him for some fun. Hearing this, Qi Nian hesitated and said, "Right now, Yalang Han hasn't let me go. I shouldn't go out." Deng Cheng directly grabbed Qi Nian's hand, confidently saying, "Don't worry, this is my brother's territory. Yalang Han can't reach this place." After some persuasion, Qi Nian finally agreed to go with him. Deng Cheng prepared a Western-style costume for Qi Nian. The outfit had a very alluring back cut. As soon as he saw Qi Nian dressed up, he praised, "Senior, you look beautiful." Qi Nian politely replied, "You're not bad either." Deng Cheng brought an exquisite mask for Qi Nian. He still hadn't given up on the earlier conversation, saying, "Even if we don't become lovers, we can still be friends. I want to always bring you joy." Qi Nian and Deng Cheng went together to the ball, where Yalang Han had also driven to the ballroom. A servant respectfully invited him inside. Inside, the ball was very lively. Deng Cheng politely invited Qi Nian to dance with him. The two danced while reminiscing about old times at school. The atmosphere was very harmonious when suddenly Qi Nian froze. He saw Yalang Han sitting not far away, looking bored. Unexpectedly, at that moment, Yalang Han also looked up at him. Their eyes met. Even with the mask on, Yalang Han easily recognized Qi Nian. He hurriedly stood up, ignoring everyone around him, and rushed into the crowd. Suddenly, a hand reached out and grabbed his wrist. Yalang Han froze, but when he saw it was Cam Dewey, he felt a bit disappointed, shook her hand off, and coldly asked, "You?" I hurriedly stood up, ignoring everyone around me, and dashed into the crowd. Suddenly, a hand reached out and grabbed my arm. It was his hand. Dalang Han froze for a moment, but when he saw it was Cam Dewey, he felt a bit disappointed and shrugged him off, coldly asking, "You, what are you doing over there?" Deng Than and Qi Nian had huddled in a corner to avoid Dalang Han. Qi Nian was panicking and wanted to run away. Deng Than carefully led him outside to avoid drawing attention from everyone around. Little did they know, as soon as they reached the door, a strong scent of pheromones wafted through the air. Qi Nian awkwardly covered his scent gland as his omega sensitivity kicked in again. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and share, and leave a comment to let us know, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the latest updates because we want Qi Nian to be happy. Deng Than decided to invite him to a masquerade ball. Coincidentally, Dalang Han was also there. Even though they were wearing masks, as soon as they brushed past each other, they recognized their opponent. Qi Nian panicked and pulled Deng Than outside, wanting to escape this dangerous place. But before they could reach the door, a strong scent of pheromones erupted from Qi Nian. Deng Than couldn't believe his eyes as he looked at Qi Nian. Clearly the senior was an alpha. How could this be? At that moment, everyone inside started to murmur. The sweet scent of pheromones had the alphas at the party buzzing. Qi Nian covered the scent gland at the back of his neck, desperately clinging to Deng Than's hand, saying, "Deng Than, I'm going into heat. Help me get out of here." Deng Than understood that with Qi Nian's current health condition, staying here would definitely put him in danger. They needed to leave immediately. Deng Than guided Qi Nian toward the main door, reminding him to keep his head down and follow him. Deng Than took off his mask and said to the buzzing guests in front of him, "Excuse me, my boyfriend is going into heat, please make way." A male server quickly came over to assist. "Sir, there's a lounge over there. You can take your boyfriend there to rest for a bit." Seeing the two still hesitating, the server explained, "It's very easy to run into trouble outside, no need to be polite about it." Deng Than knew that the scent on Qi Nian was incredibly alluring. Even as a beta, he was still affected by it. Not to mention there were so many alphas outside. Deng Than blushed as he glanced at Qi Nian's scent gland. He actually felt a strong urge to pin Qi Nian down on the bed and mark him. Realizing how inappropriate his thoughts were, Deng Than shook his head. Trying to regain some composure, Deng Than finally spoke up, "You lead the way to the lounge first." The two followed the male server happily down a deserted hallway. Qi Nian walked anxiously, determined not to let Dalang Han mark him outside. Suddenly, they heard hurried footsteps. Qi Nian and Deng Than quickened their pace. Qi Nian anxiously said, "Hurry, get me out of here. Dalang Han is coming." Suddenly, a cold voice came from behind. "Stop." Qi Nian tried to calm himself and didn't turn around. At this moment, Dalang Han had caught up, and beside him was Cam Dewey, who was desperately advising, that Omega already has a partner. Dalang Han ignored those words, striding forward decisively. The scent of the person ahead felt incredibly familiar to him. It was the same pheromone scent he had smelled at school. This made Dalang even more certain that it was Chinan. It seemed Chinan had already entered his heat phase, but always. Suddenly, a cold voice came from behind. "Stop." Chinan tried to calm himself and didn't turn around. At this moment, Dalang had caught up, and beside him was Cam Due, who was desperately advising, that Omega already has a partner." Dalang ignored those words, striding forward decisively. The scent of the person ahead felt incredibly familiar to him. It was the same pheromone scent he had smelled at school. This made Dalang even more certain that it was Chinan. It seemed Chinan had already entered his heat phase, but always. Hiding from him, Ye Langhan reached out and grabbed the arm of the person in front of him, loudly calling out to Ji Nian. Cam Du looked confusedly at that Omega. He was worried that if Ji Nian showed up, Ji Min would be sensitive. If Ji Nian turned into an Omega, then Ye Langhan would marry Ji Nian. If this happened, then all of Cam Du's plans would go down the drain. Hearing this, Cam Du quickly pulled the hand that was holding Ji Nian away from Ye Langhan, trying to calm him down. Ye Xiao mistakenly identified the person. Ji Xiao is an alpha, not an omega, and he was affected by the pheromones, so he wasn't thinking clearly. "We should hurry back. Uncle is urging us to go." Ji Nian still stubbornly refused to turn back. He guessed that Ye Langhan was just probing. He wasn't 100% sure, so if he just stepped through that door, he could run to a place where Ye Langhan couldn't find him. Ji Nian reached for the doorknob. At that moment, a hand wearing a black glove pressed down on his hand. Ye Langhan leaned close to Ji Nian's neck, threatening. "Did I say you could go?" He released his alpha pheromones towards Ji Nian. The alpha pheromones were so strong that Ji Nian couldn't withstand them. His legs went weak. Feeling the danger, Deng Cheng quickly separated Ye Langhan from him, saying, "Sir, please let go. He is my boyfriend. I hope you respect that." Ye Langhan coldly looked at them, emphasizing each word. "Your boyfriend." Deng Cheng brought Ji Nian to the ball, not expecting to run into Ye Langhan here. Under Ye Langhan's pursuit, would he be able to escape safely? The three of them were standing in front of the private room. When he heard Deng Cheng mention the words boyfriend, Ye Langhan angrily swung his fist towards him. Seeing this, Ji Nian quickly shielded Deng Cheng, concerned. "Are you okay?" Deng Cheng coldly looked at them, emphasizing each word, "your boyfriend." Deng Tan brought Qi Nian to the party, only to run into Dalang here. With Dalang chasing him, would he be able to escape safely? The three of them were standing in front of the private room. When Deng Tan mentioned the words boyfriend, Dalang angrily swung a punch at him. Seeing this, Qi Nian quickly stepped in to shield Deng Tan, concernedly asking, "Are you okay, Deng Tan? He punched towards you." Seeing that, I quickly rushed to support Deng Cheng, asking with concern, "Are you okay?" Deng Cheng wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, urging Ji Nian, "Don't worry about me, you should go." Every action of the two was under Ye Langhan's watchful eye. How could he allow Ji Nian to get so close to another man? Deng Cheng didn't say much, directly, pushing Ji Nian into the private room, telling him to lock the door and jump out the window. How could Ji Nian leave Deng Cheng behind? He knew exactly how cruel Ye Langhan could be. Ye Langhan gritted his teeth, mockingly looking at them. Who were they putting on a show for? He coldly stepped towards the door, while Deng Cheng didn't care. Dalang gritted his teeth, mockingly looking at them. Who were they putting on a show for? He coldly walked over to the door. Deng Than firmly blocked the way outside, not budging an inch, ignoring Ji Nian's banging on the door. Alphas have an extremely high possessiveness. To Ye Langhan, Ji Nian was his, and no one else could touch him. With a powerful aura, without hesitation, he kicked straight at Deng Cheng. Even though he was knocked down, Deng Cheng still refused to back down. He wanted to pursue Ji Nian. If he couldn't even do the simplest thing of protecting the person he liked, then he had no right to love that person. Behind the door, Ji Nian trembled, hearing every punch and kick from outside. Deng Cheng had no right to like that person. Behind the door, Qi Nian trembled, hearing every punch and kick from outside. Deng Than was the one who saved him from the jaws of death. He owed Deng Cheng, and now he was also getting him involved. Ji Nian pushed against the door with all his might. He absolutely couldn't let Ye Langhan hurt Deng Cheng. The door burst open, and Ji Nian fearlessly stepped outside. "Ye Langhan, what's between us has nothing to do with Deng Cheng. Let him go." Ye Langhan's expression softened a bit. He looked at Ji Nian, satisfied, saying, "You finally agree," was leaving. Dalanghan's expression softened a bit. He looked at Qi Nian and said with satisfaction, "You finally agreed." And then, Yan Langhan walked towards Qiniang. Seeing that things were off, Cam Due hurriedly ran over to stop him. "I'm just saying, Qi Xiao's body might react badly to Qi's sensitivity." Later, I could put on a suppression patch, but before I could finish my sentence, Yanlonghan brushed it aside. His gaze was still fixed on Chinan as he walked. Inside the room, he moved closer to Chinan. "Finally, I found you, babe." Then he didn't hesitate to push Chinan down onto the sofa. He slammed the door shut, and Chinan panicked, thinking Yanlonghan might want to hit him. "Dude, why should you become a bird in a cage? Why is Chinan trembling and avoiding Yanlonghan's touch? You're amazing. I can't let myself fall into that situation." Chinan gritted his teeth and said, "I won't let you hit me. Don't count on me, Yanlonghan. Don't have any delusions." Yanlonghan seemed not to hear his words. He reached out and grabbed Chinan's wrist, pinning him down, murmuring that he caught him. Naturally, Chinan struggled in panic. Chaos ensued, the pheromones spreading even more. With the owner's fear, the door suddenly swung open, revealing a sweet scent. Chinan's scent attracted the alphas attending the party. They charged in like wild beasts, fighting to get to him. The chance to touch this sweet-scented Omega was too good to pass up. The good thing was interrupted, and Yanlonghan gritted his teeth in anger, releasing Chinan. He wanted to deal with these pesky people first. Yanlonghan took off his disguise, challenging anyone who dared to come forward. Yanlonghan, the strongest alpha in the capital, quickly took down each alpha that approached. While Yanlonghan was tangled up, Chinan seized the moment to look for Dongcheng to get out of there. At that moment, Dongcheng was being restrained by Yanlonghan's bodyguards. Suddenly, a voice called out to Chinan. Chinan followed. Instinctively, he looked towards the voice, which was Kamdu. He came to give Chinan a separation patch. "If you don't want to, be marked, then go out the window right now." It might not be pretty, but Kamdu really wanted to help at that moment. Chinan ran away from Yanlonghan and his plans. Chinan hesitated, worried about Dongcheng. Kamdui reassured him, "Dongjia in the North City isn't easy to bully. If you don't go now, you'll miss your chance." Chinan knew. Kamdu was right. If he didn't go, there wouldn't be another opportunity. Chinan quickly opened the window and jumped outside. Kamdu was secretly happy, unaware that danger was approaching. Yanlonghan, filled with killing intent, walked to the window and coldly pushed it open. Kamdui stepped aside, threatening him to stop putting on those acts in front of me. Yanlonghan looked at the empty road, and the scent of Chinan had also disappeared. His gaze was icy. "Down, even if you run to the ends of the earth, I will make you obediently return to my side." Chinan escaped once again from his claws. Yanlonghan, will you really find freedom this time? The love that Yanlonghan always talks about. Is it really to imprison you? After the chaos at the banquet, Yanlonghan had people capture Dongcheng. He still used all his connections to track down Chinan's whereabouts. In Yanlonghan's office, his father was angrily questioning his only son. Dongcheng wasn't easy to mess with given his family's power. "I'm very strong in the North City." Now, Dongcheng's father has uncovered the matter related to Yanlonghan. "If you don't release Dongcheng, I'm afraid that Ra will definitely run into unnecessary trouble." Lang Han is still arrogantly convinced he's right. Right now, Kenyan has shown sensitivity to the instincts of an alpha. How could he let you fall into someone else's hands? This incident has completely enraged Lang Han's father because of a Kenyan stirring up chaos in the northern city. He angrily scolded Kenyan, saying he would never be allowed to step foot into the Da family's main door. The Da family can only have Kamdue. Lang Han doesn't even care to argue over a title that's just a name. Giving it to him doesn't matter. Da Lao Jia asked in shock, "If you're not marrying Kenyan, why are you in such a hurry to find him?" Lang Han was left speechless by this question. He expressed that he just wanted to conquer Kenyan. Right now, Kenyan has turned into an Omega. He must find and mark him. He can't let him leave. Lang Han's selfishness makes him unaware that the one who pushed Kenyan away is actually him. Lang Han has gradually pushed Kenyan to the brink, forcing him to let go. What Lang Han offers Kenyan is not love, but the instinct of an alpha wanting to conquer its prey. Kenyan, the one Lang Han is searching for right now, is in a dilapidated house. Hatan Yendan, Kenyan's best friend, is worriedly calling him to wake up. While running away, Kenyan had no choice but to seek help from this Omega friend of his. As the two were chatting, there was a loud knock on the door outside. An alpha caught the scent of Kenyan's pheromones, causing chaos outside, wanting to get into Hatan Gwen's room. It seems like he's used to this scene, so he unhappily stepped out to open the door. The alpha is named Doi Hai Than. He's the son of a fisherman. He has been pursuing Hatan Dan for a long time, always pestering him. Hatan Dan opened the door to chase him away. The alpha stubbornly refused to leave, spouting filthy harassment. While the two were arguing at the door, suddenly a hand reached out and grabbed his collar. Kenyan coldly looked at Doi Hai Than. Stuttering, he asked, "Who are you?" Kinian didn't answer, but Doi Haithon sensed that this person was an alpha. He didn't want to get involved in trouble. Kinian lightly swung his hand, causing Doi Haithon to fall to the ground. He coldly warned, "Don't let me see you again." Doi Haithon was quite sensible, quickly apologizing to both of them before scurrying away. After dealing with that jerk, Ha Nguyendan and Kinian returned to the room. As they walked, he expressed his admiration for alphas like Kinian. Hearing this, Kinian felt a bit lost and sighed. What's there to admire? Right now, you're neither an alpha nor a beta, and definitely not an omega. Lang Han has turned you into a monster. Kinian entered the bathroom, splashing cold water on his face to wake himself up. Luckily, the sensitivity phase has passed, allowing him to suppress. Doi Haithon. Seeing Kinian like this, Ha Nguyendan worriedly asked, "Why did an alpha show up?" Kinian, exhausted, looked into the mirror and told his best friend about the Omega compound drug that he was forced to inject into his body. Hearing this, Ha Nguyendan felt indignant for Kinian. Which jerk did that? It's Lang Han. What? Hearing him mention that name, Kinian fell silent, but this silence felt like a tacit acknowledgement. Hearing that, Ha Nguyendan was extremely angry. Is it true that having money means you can be arrogant and do whatever you want? Kinian gently placed a hand on his shoulder. Right now he was hurt. He had let go of that person. Seeing that the sky was turning to dusk, Ha Nguyen, Dan changed the subject to cooking, so as not to remind Kinian of anything that would make him sad. Ha Nguyen. Dan lived with a little boy named Ha Kang An. From what Kinian knew, this kid was Ha Nguyen Dan's nephew, Kang. An had just come back from school. Hearing a knock on the door, Kinian stepped over to open it. As soon as he saw the little one, he was somewhat surprised. How could this kid look so much like Van Tu Thu? Kinian walked over to greet little An and told him to play outside with his dog, Potato, for a while. Kang, and obediently agreed, and played fetch with his friend Gordon. The little boy was so engrossed in chasing the ball, playing ball. The boy was so focused on chasing after the ball,